In today's video, we're going to check out the best PC gaming controllers in 2019. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability, and more. To find out more information about these controllers, you can check out the description below. At number 5, it's the Sony DualShock 4. The DualShock 4, Sony's 4th generation controller for its 4th generation of consoles, has fixed its own predecessor's flaws and has added some clever features. It may have been launched at the end of 2013 together with the PlayStation 4, but its design still is modern and pretty much the best for consoles. It can be connected to the PC, however, you cannot use the complete number of features. Until the introduction of the DualShock 4, the design of the PlayStation controller was somewhat unchanged. They featured the same design that was a classic but was getting old, and the competition was producing better controllers like the Xbox One controller that was comfortable and had a clever design. The DualShock 4 did not change everything. It continues most of the themes from the original DualShock, but now it has a rounder, sleeker frame that it's a bit larger than its predecessors. It's a joy to hold and feels comfortable and natural. Moreover, the touchpad and speakers are new additions that give it a more futuristic feel. Also, I should mention DualShock 4's build quality and durability are the best in the market. The touchpad acts like a button itself as well. In the newer designs of the DualShock 4, the touchpad has a light bar above it, providing added experience and intuitive feedback. The trackpad is also somewhat accurate in its directional orientation and added a new way to play games. The analog sticks are very responsive and have been upgraded for better grip. The DualShock 4 is somewhat compatible with PC. First, you have to buy the separately sold USB wireless adapter to connect the controller wirelessly. The wireless audio capabilities will be inaccessible when playing from the PC. But still, it is one very useful and convenient controller if you game both on the console and on PC. The DualShock 4, in my opinion, is near perfect and is one of the best for PC if only it had better PC support. The controller is durable and one of the better built controllers in the market. It has a moderate price and has tons of colour schemes and special editions to please you. At number 4, it's the MSI Force GC30. A lot of gaming peripheral manufacturers are designing their own controllers with various features and advantages. MSI is a known brand in the gaming industry for its wide range of peripherals with high quality and amazing value. MSI has introduced a controller under the Force series, the GC30. It has wireless connectivity and is compatible even for the Xbox and PlayStation and naturally for PC. Design-wise, it resembles so much of the original Xbox 360 controller, meaning it's pretty small. At the sides, it has a piece of large textured rubber for improved grip on each side. The directional pad of the MSI Force GC30 can be swapped between the heptagonal faceplate and the full directional D-pad. The heptagonal faceplate is a very welcome feature by the fight game fans, as it allows them to have better control over their inputs, which is important for combos. The controller offers multiple modes. One of those modes is the default mode. While in default mode, the Windows 10 system will detect the MSI Force GC30 as a native Xbox 360 controller. The Android mode, on the other hand, is used for connecting the controller with Android phones. For the games that have native controller support, it worked pretty well and flawlessly. The triggers and buttons feel tight and responsive, although the triggers have shorter travel distances opposed to other controllers we tested. The sticks are very comfortable and very responsive to thumb movements. Every input was registered and swerving motions are registered smoothly. The sticks have interesting characteristics that will suit various gameplay styles. Moreover, the sticks are clickable and can even be clicked from any angle. The dual force motors provide good feedback for major and minor effects. It's not as accurate as the Xbox controller, but it's still pretty good for an unofficial controller. You can easily guess the build quality of the MSI Force GC30 from its substantial weight and sturdy and quality build material. Every part of the controller feels natural and sturdy. Excellent delivery from MSI. It definitely provides the most value you can get from a controller with its versatility and long button life and general build quality. At number 3, it's the Logitech Gamepad F310. Most of the PC gamers that usually tend to play adventure games, platformers or racing games have considered owning a controller to have a better experience and easier gameplay. But a large number of them have considered the prices of PC controllers and have strayed away from the idea. But with the Logitech Gamepad F310, you can have your own gaming controller for the price of a meal in a chain fast food restaurant. It has a ridiculous look, to be honest. Looks like a modern PlayStation 2 controller with a 90s SNES twist, but designed by a caricaturist. But at that price, it's not wise to expect an Xbox One controller design. Apart from the aesthetics, the controller feels flimsy and light. It has 2 analog mini sticks, button and trigger on each side, the directional pad and 4 action buttons that are programmable. In the middle, there are the start, mode and back buttons. Under the controller, there's a switch that'll allow you to switch between X input and direct input. It's recommended to download the Logitech software to configure the controller to your liking. The whole process of installing the controller is very easy. You just plug it in and just install the drivers in Windows 10, most of which is done automatically. When you're done, just run your favourite platformer and play until dawn. Despite having a flimsy feel and not superb build quality, the buttons of the F310 have very good tactile feedback, the sticks are smooth enough and the triggers are a little bit stiff but very responsive. Nothing to worry about in the control input department, just the D-pad feels like it's not as durable as other buttons. I wouldn't recommend this controller to gamers who tend to get a little angrier in their gaming sessions. There are controllers that can withstand abuse and occasional throwing, but the Logitech Gamepad F310 is not one of them. I would recommend this controller to everyone who's a regular gamer that doesn't require high performance from a controller. It has a funny design and not great build quality, but with its good buttons and its amazing affordability, it's worth giving it a try. At number 2, it's the Steam controller. Steam has released the Steam controller before releasing the Steam OS. It released it as a controller that would bridge the gap between PC and console gamers. This controller aims to do everything, to be the best controller for every game. Also, it wants to eliminate the need for a keyboard and mouse. It's a bold goal and a very interesting product that's innovative and a breath of fresh air. Setting up the controller is effortless. Place the batteries in the back slot, plug in the USB Bluetooth receiver, turn on the controller, and you're set to go. When talking about the design of the Steam controller, options are very diverse. Personally, I think that despite being large and bubbly in general, this controller has a smooth vibe going on with it. Yes, it is big, but it's also elegant. Certainly not an eye strain. Holding the controller feels a little strange at first, a little bubbly and fat. However, after a while, it becomes very comfortable as you start getting used to its ergonomics. The buttons placed on the Steam controller are similar to those of Xbox, but smaller and placed where you usually have the right stick. This is probably done to leave space for the large touchpads. It has just one analog stick that's really high quality, stiff enough with plenty of responsiveness, and rough rubber top for comfort and grip. There are 2 touchpads, one of which rests in the place where buttons rest in traditional controllers and the other in the place of the D-pad, again in the traditional controllers. Touchpads have buttons and haptic engines beneath them that give you a slight nudge where your thumb is resting. The touchpad on the left has a large plus pressed on it, giving it a D-pad feel, although the other pad is purposed to feel like your mouse cursor. The gaming experience varies from game to game, but generally it's a very nice experience. However, it'll definitely not replace the mouse and keyboard setting. The accuracy and precision are not the same as in those, but it's a nice change of pace and would be convenient for lots of other games other than competitive shooters. And at number 1, it's the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. With the introduction of the Nintendo Switch, the console hybrid that wants to connect both portable gaming fans and those that want to game on TV, it's done a good job with its small controllers that are perfect for portable play but lack the more traditional feel of the Xbox and PS4 controller. The Nintendo Switch Pro controller has a more robust feeling and has all the buttons and axes that you can find on traditional controllers. It has done a pleasant job of designing an excellent controller. In terms of aesthetics and function, it looks like the Xbox One controller. The button and axis layout are the same as in the Xbox controller. The triggers have a great tactile response, but not up to par with its competitors' performance. The analog sticks rotate smoothly and are pretty responsive. Action buttons have a satisfying and clicky feel to it, similar to the DualShock 4 buttons. And the famous Nintendo directional pad makes a return. A welcome feature for older fans who've enjoyed Nintendo from the NES days. While playing, you'll feel that the Pro controller is a nice upgrade from the Joy-Cons, and it's really better in some games. But there are some games in which the Joy-Cons perform better. It's the fault of the Switch library and the game's designed for different controls. It's very versatile and works with every system. It can connect to the PC in a breeze, but it needs you to set the controls manually for each game. Other than that, it's great for PC gaming. The vibration on the Pro Controller is very good, although it doesn't have the nuances of the HD rumble of the Joy-Cons. Still, it's better than the outdated feedback of other controllers. After owning the Pro Controller for some time, you'll see that this is the comfiest controller on the market, hands down. It may not have some features that Pro Controllers might like, but it's nice and comfortable, and Nintendo has designed it for people who just want to relax while playing. A must-buy if you value your comfort and experience